From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Thursday morning. Unfortunately, it is another First Alert weather day as we could have some slick roads out there for this morning. But the good news is that high temperatures, the afternoon high is going to continue to be pretty mild over the next 7 days. And unfortunately, our forecast is going to trend much drier, way too dry for this time of the year for Friday and beyond. So again, First Alert weather day once again for this morning as there's that potential for icy roads. And it does look like we are seeing a little bit of a wintry mix out there for the valley. It's trying to get down to the valley floors. Now, the temperatures are a very interesting aspect to this forecast, which we'll talk about in just a second. Current road conditions, looks like most of the pink and the blue, which indicates ice and snow, looks like most of that is in upper elevations, but take a look at some of these temperatures this morning. 33 for the Tri-Cities, 33 for Sunnyside, 33 for Ellensburg. Remember, the freezing threshold is 32, so we're right on the cusp in a lot of these areas. Even Walla Walla, 34. Just a few minutes back, that was up into the 40s, so that'll be a very interesting aspect to the forecast as well. I'm thinking in general it's going to be mostly rain today for the Tri-Cities. High temperatures getting up to around 50 degrees. So for today, 40s and 50s above normal for this time of the year. And again, we'll continue to keep it pretty mild over the next 7 days. We'll talk about why this is the case coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, public comment getting tense and frustrations on full display at the Port of Benton meeting. County commissioners addressing two separate but connected issues involving one of their own and also the suspension of their former director. We have the details. But first, Kennewick families are now asking for help from school board leaders as the sex offender group home moves closer to reality. We have what officials are saying and what residents still plan on doing. And also ahead, students and local organizations raising awareness on human trafficking. What's been on the agenda at the 3-day Shine the Light event, plus we hear directly from an undercover officer who's been helping victims for over 12 years. It's all in Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now, Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It's Thursday, January 29th. Jade Elliott has the day off. Now, we do want to get into your top stories, and we're starting off with continuing coverage out of Kennewick. The school board held a meeting just last night, and it was filled with people concerned about the proposed sex offender home, which is set to open in a residential neighborhood. So neighbors are opposing the home and are wondering what the school board can and will do about it, if anything. Now, to be clear, the school board had nothing to do with this placement, and all of this comes after the town hall from earlier this week, which left many with many more questions. Residents say they went to that meeting prepared to ask questions, including why their neighborhood was chosen for the home and how many staff members will be on site at all times. They say they were seeking assurance from leaders that their families will be safe living next to the facility, but neighbors say they feel that state officials and the home's property manager, Joe Field, dodged a lot of their questions.
I personally found that Mr. Fields' remarks were incredibly insensitive. I mean, he had a room full of parents who were begging for their family's safety. They're literally in tears because of a business decision he and his business partners have made. And he was sitting there smug and confrontational rather than compassionate to these parents.
Residents also say their next step is to keep doing research, to continue raising money for legal help, and they also say they're interested in taking their fight to the state level.
I think that's, what we're going to have to do, right? Because this is something that's going to affect every community in Washington state. I think, we're going to have to petition the state to do what they're supposed to do, is protect the community, or they're not doing their jobs.
Washington District 8 legislators say they're working on bills to try to prevent the House from opening, which will be presented during the state's legislative session over the next month. Taking you now to Walla Walla, where the city is continuing its work on its next comprehensive plan, a long-term document that will guide growth, housing, and development for years to come. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert spoke with city officials about one part of the plan that could have a big impact on the community.
City officials in Walla Walla have been working on the comprehensive plan, a multi-year process that began in late 2024 and is now moving steadily forward, with completion targeted for the fall ahead of a December deadline. The plan, which is updated about every 10 years, serves as the city's guiding document for managing growth for the next 20 years. It outlines goals and policies addressing housing, transportation, economic development, parks, and public services. But this time around, officials say the state has added a new requirement that significantly shapes the plan.
And this is the first time ever that the state has issued growth targets, not only growth targets, but housing targets.
Arteche says housing is one of the biggest focuses of this comprehensive plan, with the new state mandates requiring cities to plan for affordability while preparing for future population growth. For Walla Walla, that means planning for a total of 2,348 housing units over the next 20 years.
Housing affordability at various income levels, starting out at the very, very low with emergency housing, and then permanent supportive housing, and then all the way up to 120 plus, AMI, so area mean income.
Arteche says recent changes at the state level have encouraged more middle housing, like duplexes and triplexes, housing types that fall between single-family homes and large apartment buildings. She adds Walla Walla has also been proactive, updating zoning rules to allow more housing options citywide.
City took some steps forward a few years ago to allow more than one unit on an existing parcel without going through a subdivision process. So the city could have, you could see in the city that perhaps there'll be, two accessory dwelling units and a single-family residence, and you could have one additional unit.
City officials tell me that the comprehensive plan will address many real issues that the city of Walla Walla is facing and looking to grow off of. They also tell me that the comprehensive plan is not just a city project, as many key stakeholders are involved.
The Housing Authority is another partner. We also have worked with Habitat for Humanity.
City leaders say the goal is to address housing needs while ensuring Walla Walla is prepared for future growth. In Walla Walla, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And city officials say the comprehensive plan is shaped by state and county levels, along with input from local partners and the public, well before it's expected to be adopted later this year. 5:07, and now to continuing coverage of Wednesday's Port of Benton Commissioners meeting. Public frustration was on full display, so around a dozen people, both in person and on Zoom, tuned in as commissioners addressed controversies involving one of their own and the suspension of the port's former executive director. Public comment got tense. Speakers raised concerns over two separate but connected issues: complaints against Commissioner Scott Keller and the paid administrative leave of former executive director Diane Howard. Now, at the port's January 14th meeting, commissioners released the results of an independent investigation into Keller, and the investigation apparently found that he violated state law related to leasing practices and water and sewer hookups at his hangar at the Richland Airport.
I want to just ask everybody to put this in perspective. Do stay transparent. Get the proper consultants on board to give the right answers, not the ones the port wants to hear, but the right ones for the community, the tenants. Everybody has a stake in this.
Meanwhile, Howard remains on paid administrative leave after commissioners voted no action on the findings she brought forward. And now some community members are calling for the state auditor to step in, saying this goes beyond one person and speaks to public accountability. 5:08, and making a difference this morning, Columbia Basin College, along with the Phi Theta Kappa National Honor Society, are hosting an event called Shine the Light. Now, this is to help spread awareness about human trafficking. Human trafficking doesn't always look like what we see in movies. Advocates say misunderstandings can make it harder to recognize the signs in real life. That's why students, community groups, and area partners are working to change that. The three-day event aims to educate the public on what trafficking really looks like in our region, while also connecting survivors and families with available resources.
The Tri-Cities is one of the highest trafficked cities, I guess, in the United States. We felt that partnering with organizations like Mirror Ministries and SARC, we could really make a difference.
And the event features interactive exhibits and expert conversations, and it continues today. It's located inside CBC's Jardy Atrium, and organizers hope awareness will lead to more action beyond campus. Also, part of the event at CBC's Shine the Light event included a presentation by undercover law enforcement officer David Zock. He's been fighting human trafficking for the last 12 years, and he volunteers to go undercover to find victims, inform the authorities, and help survivors get justice. He says trafficking is in every community, and sometimes it can be hard to spot. It's often tied to organized crime, and while the work can seem hopeless at times, Zoc says it's events like the CBC's human trafficking program that keeps him going.
Sometimes I feel like all I have is a squirt gun against a forest fire, you know? But one of the things that inspires me is seeing all the students at the college that are part of this long line of people that decided not to stay silent in the face of injustice, believing that our little spark in the midst of darkness matters, believing that when we shine our light, that there's nothing darkness can do to hide from the light. I know that from my experience that goodness and hope and justice wins out in the end.
And Zoc says through his organization, Daylight United, his band Remedy Drive, and its partners, they have been able to help 7,000 people be free from human trafficking. He also adds the very first step is getting involved with organizations like Mirror Ministries and SARC, two local groups that combat human trafficking. And keep it here because coming up next, much of the country has been battling severe winter weather that they're not usually used to. And this morning, we're learning that it's far from over. With the latest developments on the severe winter snap that's being dubbed one of the longest in decades. But first, your weather forecast here locally, which is a lot more tame. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will break it all down, and that is coming up in just a few minutes.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks, and we've kept that title every year since. Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power.
Brace your taste buds. Don't miss out on the new DQ $6.99 Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket. A spicy, bold heat, served with a side of our cool, sweet DQ soft serve as a dip. All for just $6.99. Plus, try a sweet, spicy sip of lemonade made with tahini. It's the new Swicy menu for a limited time, only at DQ.
Driving the Nissan Kicks with intelligent all-wheel drive is like what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want in me. The best seat in the house. See why it's been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy 5 years in a row. Drive the reimagined Nissan Kicks today. Now get a low $309 per month lease or get up to $1,000 customer cash on the 2026 Nissan Kicks.
This President's Day, upgrade every room for less at More Furniture. With sofas starting at $395, beds starting at $195, and mattresses starting at $329. We have styles for every budget. Plus, enjoy free delivery and 0% financing with no money down for 61 months. Shop the President's Day sale today at a More Furniture store near you or shop now at morefurniture.com.
Attention viewers, Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday at 5:30 a.m. And join Good News Today the following week on Saturday, February 7th at 5:30 a.m.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks, and we've kept that title every year since. Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power.
Hello, this is a collect call from an inmate.
Kat, you okay? You got all clammy when you got that call. Kat?
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a very mild stretch that we find ourselves in the middle of. High staying in the 40s and 50s over the next 7 days, and it's because of this. So you see this low pressure center right here and this band of precip that's extending off of it. This is actually a warm front. It's not analyzed through our computer graphic system, but it is a warm front that's passing us. There's also another warm front that's sitting down to the south and west, even further off in the Pacific. And once this passes us, that'll reinforce us with some warmer air. Definitely a lot warmer for this time of the year as opposed to average. So let's show you what that means for today. Highs finally getting back into the 40s in the Yakima Valley. We'll be in the low to mid 40s, but there will be that chance for some freezing rain for this morning. That's why we need everyone to take it especially slow on their morning commutes. Here's that zone by zone tour of today's forecast. Rain and snow looking likely up in the Cascades. Accumulation is not going to be too impressive. High temperatures around 40 in the Kittitas Valley, and really for all lower elevation locations, there will be the potential for some freezing rain for this morning, especially for the valleys and for the basin. In the Yakima Valley, we'll have mid to upper 40s for the lower Columbia Basin. Maybe some of us touching 50 degrees. I'm officially going with 49 for the Tri-Cities. And then for the foothills, this is probably where the chances for freezing rain are going to be the lowest this morning. We're keeping a close eye on it as we're already down at 34 in Walla Walla, but these highs going to end up in the low to mid 50s when it's all said and done for today. And then the blue is going to end up in the 30s and 40s. For tonight, overnight low is going to drop down into the 30s. Could have a hard time slipping below 40 for Walla Walla, but you see these high temperatures slowly but surely going to continue to ascend over the next 7 days. We'll end up around 50 in the Yakima Valley by the time we get to next Monday, which will end up being about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Those overnight lows are going to hover right around freezing. But we'll touch on this once again, why we have the first alert weather day in place. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Turning to your national headlines this morning, the unrelenting cold hitting much of the U.S. has continued for an exceptionally long stretch, and there is more on the way. The frigid air is set to blanket the eastern half of the U.S. all the way down to South Florida, and the chill will be inescapable even in Miami, where the temperature could drop down to the mid-30s.
Our lows will get into the negatives, as low as -3 or 4.
Officials in Washington, D.C. warning the brutal winter weather isn't over.
Current forecast is for 10 days. This is going to be one of the top 5 longest running cold streaks on record.
This as Washington is still dealing with the crippling effects of the Arctic blast.
Very cold weather that has turned that snow and ice into solid, almost concrete-like conditions.
D.C. isn't alone, and the severe winter weather doesn't appear to be over. With millions of people in the U.S. already shivering amid the extended cold air outbreak, one of the longest in decades for some, it's likely to get more brutal in the coming days. The eastern half of the country is set to get hit with a new push of bitter air, making temperatures plunge even further Friday through Monday. Upwards of 200 daily cold temperature records could be broken as far south as Florida. Weekend temperatures could drop more than 30 degrees below normal in some areas, especially in the east, and in the south, which is still coping with massive power outages from the last dose of icy weather.
We're trying our best to get all of our 3-phase major lines back on. The weather conditions, trees are still falling, limbs are falling.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, talking weather locally, Josh Colbreth is back with your full First Alert weather forecast. Also still ahead, we've got your entertainment news, so keep it here. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Eczema isn't fair, and it isn't your fault. But with Ebglyss, people with moderate to severe eczema can have real results, like skin that's still more clear at 1 year.
Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Ask your doctor about once monthly Ebglyss.
Pet owners know the struggle. Your best bud can track all sorts of gunk indoors. Now there's a simple solution. It's Muddy Mat, the anti-mud mat that keeps your dog's paws clean before they make a mess inside. Use Muddy Mat under your pet's food dish, in the bathroom, even catch spills in the kitchen. Call or go online to order your Muddy Mat right away. Through this introductory offer, order 2 and get 1 free for only $19.95 each.
Zepbound may help in your weight loss journey.
Once weekly Zepbound helps adults with obesity lose weight and keep it off. People taking Zepbound lost up to 48 pounds. And there are multiple savings options available, even if you don't have insurance.
Don't take if allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop Zepbound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you experience vision changes, depression, or suicidal thoughts before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. If you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Taking Zepbound with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems.
If this is clicking for you, ask your healthcare provider about once weekly Zepbound and check your coverage today at zepbound.com.
Stay warm now and pay later. Upgrade your HVAC system today and take advantage of $2,000 in federal tax credits. That's right, you could get up to $5,750 in total savings. This winter, don't leave it to chance. Call Vance. Vance Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric.
A waterfall, a footbridge, and more. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We are once again going with that First Alert Weather Day for this morning, as we'll have the potential for icy roads. And we'll go ahead and take a current look at current road conditions. And it looks like the bulk of the pink and the blue, which indicates the ice and the snow, it looks like the bulk of that is in higher elevations. But I don't want you to be lulled to sleep for the valleys, for the basin, maybe a little bit less so for the foothills, but really everywhere this morning. Just be vigilant on your morning commute, as we could have a combination of both rain and freezing rain. So let's put this into motion over the next 48 hours with Futurecast radar. Still dealing with some light precip by this morning. The same thing for lunchtime. A little bit of a lull into the afternoon, but that's going to quickly come to an end, as we'll have another round of some light precip overnight and then into Friday morning. Now with this round, it looks like the temperatures are going to be just warm enough to where I'm thinking it probably will end up being mostly rainfall for lower elevations. And by lunchtime, still some of that is working through the area, looking much drier by Friday evening. But here we go again into Saturday morning. Here's another round. I think this one is also mostly going to be rainfall for lower elevations and even for higher elevations as well. So here are the ice accumulations we're expecting for the rest of this morning. I'm not as bullish on the chances for freezing rain for the foothills, but definitely for the basin, for the valleys, for higher elevations as well. Could have that little smattering of some freezing rain accumulations, and it doesn't take much to make those roadways slick, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. The best chances for freezing rain for lower elevations is going to be in the valleys for today, mostly before 8 a.m. So that's what it's going to look like in the Kittitas Valley. This is what it's going to look like in the Yakima Valley. Low in chances, but you got to stay especially vigilant with setups like these. Okay, and then the forecast after this, looking abnormally dry once again for this time of the year. This is not great news. The rainfall numbers need a boost. The snowfall numbers need way more than a boost. We need this graphic to look very different, and very soon at that. So here is 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Perhaps a little bit slick out there this morning, but afternoon highs will be pleasant once again. For Yakima, we'll also see the same thing, patchy areas of ice possible this morning. And then for Ellensburg, the same thing for the Kittitas Valley as well. But it looks as if Friday morning's commute should be safer. For Hermiston, maybe a little icy for Thursday morning. Looks as if that threat will be curbed for tomorrow morning. And finally, for Walla Walla, a little too warm for ice this morning. We're thinking for now, but of course, we'll keep a very close eye on things. I think it was 34 the last time I checked the temperature in Walla Walla. So for now, we're seeing a little too warm for ice, kind of on the threshold, but we will be tracking chances for rain today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. And now you're taking a live look at Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
A new year comes with new goals and smarter choices. Enjoy a new vehicle from McCurley Chevrolet while staying on budget with payments as low as $16 per day. Or choose a wide range of McCurley certified vehicles. All makes and models carefully inspected, and our certification is included in the price you see. This year, stay on track financially and drive something you truly love. Thinking about saving? Think McCurley Chevrolet.
This is something that I've been dreaming about. I want to be a singer.
And I believe
I can do it.
Being here just means the entire world to me.
You were born to sing.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial House Dermatology Center in Benton City.
When I made my Botox cosmetic appointment,
I was nervous that I might look overdone.
I wanted results that looked like me.
What was important to me was that I'd still look like me, just with fewer lines.
I'm happy with my results.
So happy that my results are natural looking. Booking a consultation, it's a way to take time for you.
Botox cosmetic effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox cosmetic if you have skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow, eyelid drooping, or swelling. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
I'm the one and only Delphina.
I'm the one and only Olivia.
And I'm the one and only Claire. And I got treated with the one and only Botox Cosmetic.
Find a licensed Botox Cosmetic specialist at BotoxCosmetic.com.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
When looking at your meal, you must always make sure there's enough sauce for every single bite.
Share and share alike with the 20-piece Chicken McNuggets for only $6.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, we have great news for many people as Ted Lasso is set to return soon.
Yeah, Apple TV announcing season 4 will be coming soon. So here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
That treadmill has not ceased for me.
Jason Sudeikis is back on the Ted Lasso treadmill. Apple TV says season 4 of the popular series will debut this summer. A half-dozen familiar faces will be joined by a flock of new characters as Ted returns to Richmond to coach a women's football team.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas. Get 'em just how you like.
Instacart promotes its preference picker in its new Super Bowl ad with a back-flipping Benson Boone and Ben Stiller as his retro Euro disco pop duo partner who's determined not to be outshined. You'll see if he's okay on Super Sunday.
What's a booster? Somebody that steals clothes from the store and sell it at a discount price? It's like community service.
Keke Palmer leads a squad of shoplifters targeting a fashion maven played by Demi Moore in I Love Boosters. The first teaser just dropped for the new movie from Sorry to Bother You filmmaker Boots Riley. I Love Boosters opens in theaters May 22nd. Always fashion forward in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Okay, Keke Palmer is just hilarious, so anything that she's in is on my list.
Yeah.
Are you a big...
Oh, I love Keke Palmer. You can never get enough. And I think a very underrated show on Nickelodeon was True Jackson VP. It was
That's
legitimately
kind of when
hilarious.
I stopped watching.
No.
I know. It was like right
out.
there. I saw like a few episodes, but then I was kind of like moving towards other things.
It was good. I think it was underrated.
Are you a Ted Lasso fan?
I watched the first couple seasons.
I've seen
fell
some,
off.
but I've heard so many good things, so I really need to add that to the list.
It's very good. If you're down in the dumps, it's a big spirit lifter for sure.
Okay. I need to add it for sure. All right, keep it here because coming up next, a milestone for the city of Pasco as they officially open the city's first indoor pool. We have more on the grand opening of the Memorial Pool Dome, which will change the game for not only swimmers and divers, but also for families. Details in your next half hour, but first, your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, big changes at Tesla. Production of its Models S and X will stop soon, with factories being converted to produce humanoid robots. Owner Elon Musk says he plans to roll out what's called Optimus by the end of the year. Amazon has cut another 16,000 corporate jobs for a total of 30,000 since October. Company says layoffs are necessary to reduce bureaucracy and increase efficiency, adding they are part of a broader restructuring of the entire tech industry. Apple is forcing all creators on the platform Patreon to switch to subscription billing by November. Patreon is not happy with the change because creators will no longer be allowed to charge their fans outside the App Store without paying Apple fees. Only a small percentage of creators will be affected by this. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Hannah Batab. Have a great day, everyone.
Be the one thing that can change everything. Be bold. Be authentic. Be brilliant. Be the unexpected. Be an open heart. Be true. The beauty. The laughter. The laughter. In a world where you can be anything. Be love. Be love. Be love. Be love. My love is your love. Pandora.
Meet my bestie. National University supports all her Anns. With flexible online courses, she can be a student and an adventurer. She's an Ander. National University, supporting all your Anns.
The finest luxury fragrances are now exclusively available at your local store. Unstoppable's Unlimited collection makes everything smell magnifique.
A stylish woman smells Unstoppable scent boosters.
Luxury laundry scent beads so you can smell unstoppable.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Josh, it is National Puzzle Day, and this weather has kind of been puzzling.
It has been, because temperatures have been going up.
Yeah.
We've been having chances for
and then
freezing
the
rain
rest
in
of the
morning.
country is going down where it's usually up. So
yeah. Hey, they can keep that stuff.
I know,
over there,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
I hope everyone out there
no
stays. I got a lot of family out that way, but they can keep it for now.
Oh yeah, my sisters are getting cabin fever with the ice out on the road, so they've been walking to get fast food. Yeah, just a couple feet.
Love that. Getting the steps in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of this puzzling weather that Jessica was just alluding to. And so, yes, we are warming up. It's definitely pretty mild for this time of the year. We're going to keep highs in the 40s and 50s, but we have marginal moisture, marginal temperatures during the mornings, which means that yesterday morning and this morning, we have chances for freezing rain, icy roads, and unfortunately trending abnormally dry for this time of the year for Friday and beyond. So first, let's take a look at that potential for icy roads again for this morning. First Alert radar is showing you, some of that moisture now over the valleys getting into the basin, but our radar algorithm is still just keeping it green, keeping it as rainfall for the valleys, at least for now. But those temperatures, very, very, very important. We'll talk about that in a second. Current road conditions, again, our algorithm is saying that road conditions are just wet for the time being for lower elevations, but the temperature is very important. It's that freezing threshold, 32 degrees. So we're at 33 for the Tri-Cities, 33 for Sunnyside, 32 for Ellensburg. So we're right there on the cusp. That's why everyone out there needs to take it slow on the roadways. If you see a wet spot, just assume that it's an icy spot. Very quickly, here's what freezing rain is. It's when snowflakes go through a melting layer, and then right at the surface, you see temperatures, if they're either at or below 32 degrees, that super cooled droplet freezes on contact. That's what creates that little icy glaze. But in the afternoons, temperatures going way above freezing. We'll talk about why this is happening coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now we start this half hour of news in Pasco, and it may be cold outside, but it's a great day to take a swim if you're a Pasco resident. Apple Valley News Now's Caleb Stipkovitz tells you why the grand opening of its Memorial Pool Dome marks a milestone for the city.
Swimming is no longer seasonal in Pasco, with city officials cutting the ribbon for its new inflatable pool dome Wednesday afternoon.
This is the first indoor public pool that the city of Pasco has ever had, and residents are already excited to make a splash.
First off, it looks really nice. I heard there was going to be an open swim today, and also because of the grand opening, so I thought maybe I'd come and check it out, because I've been wanting to see what's new here.
Standing at 200 feet wide and 38 feet tall, the dome offers an open swim area, race lanes, and of course, a diving board. It's part of a $2 million upgrade project to winterize Pasco's Memorial Pool, and it's set to cover the pool during the cold months, between September and April. Officials say that a key reason the city invested in the pool dome is to support high school sports. The pool dome has actually been open to high school swim teams for their winter season, and the Pasco School District says it's even bringing competitions back to the city.
Now we can host meets here for our students, our kids, our community. They can train here, they can compete here, and they can grow right here in their own home.
Open swim will be available on weekends from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., with admission for children and seniors at $3 and adults at $5.
Reporting from Pasco, Caleb Sipkovitz, Apple Valley News Now.
And the pool is also offering swim lessons in February and March, starting at $35 a session for Pasco residents. 5:35 and taking you to Sunnyside now, where the city is on the hunt for a new city manager after Jim Bridges announced his resignation as interim.
I informed Mayor Frosto that I chose to resign effective January 30th. I've enjoyed my time here with the city. I enjoy the work we do here at the city. I certainly am humbled by the support of the folks in the audience tonight and staff.
And he says while he will continue to live in Sunnyside, he has taken a position with the Richland Public Works Department, and the City Council will hold a special meeting today, and they'll discuss bringing on an interim city manager while the search for a permanent person continues. Bridges had been with the City of Sunnyside in the most recent role since June of 2025. And now taking you to Benton City, where leaders are in the early stages of discussing whether it may eventually need a city administrator. And this is to help manage growing responsibilities. The Benton City Council has had preliminary discussions about the city's strong mayor form of government and the challenges that come with it. So right now, much of the administrative workload falls on the mayor and city clerk, a structure officials say is becoming harder to manage as state laws and regulations continue to increase. Mayor Len Burton says these conversations are still early with no formal plan or timeline in place. He also emphasized any move towards a city administrator or city manager model would require voter approval through a referendum and would not be decided by the city alone.
The Association of Washington Cities states currently, because of the influence of state law and continued state increased regulation, it is impossible for a city clerk and a mayor to handle the roles without additional help.
And officials say the conversation is ongoing and residents would have the final say if the issue moves forward. Now, making a difference this morning, today in Benton County, it was a moment of celebration and second chances, or should I say yesterday. So 2 participants graduated from the county's Therapeutic Recovery Court, and this program is designed to hold people accountable while also providing treatment and support. The 2 graduates completed a demanding program that can take years to finish, involving a regular court check-in, also treatment, sobriety requirements, and intense personal commitment. So for the graduates, the ceremony marks more than a court milestone. It's also a fresh start.
The participants have just worked so hard, and now they're ready to move forward. And I think that represents hope for their future, and I think hope for our community as a whole.
And Recovery Court is designed as an alternative to traditional court. It focuses on treatment and long-term stability instead of punishment alone. And leaders say community support from treatment providers to mentors and families is key to making programs like this one successful. And keep it here, because coming up next, excuse me, we're looking at a Seattle Kraken player who scored the franchise's first ever hat trick and now serves as captain. We've got your Kraken player profile of the week. We talk sports after the break.
Saturday primetime, Mavericks, Rockets on ABC.
Hello, this is a collect call from an inmate.
Kat, you okay?
You got all clammy when you got that call.
Kat?
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox. Bonus zone savings include select Pepsi brand 12-packs, buy 2, get 2 free. Tillamook beef jerky is sale priced at $9.99. All ink cartridges are $2 off. Genuine Dickies 12-packs of men's crew socks are $14.99. And find Friskies 48-count canned cat food, hot priced at $31.99 after an instant rebate. Find these great savings and more now at employee-owned Bi-Mart.
Pet owners know the struggle. Your best bud can track all sorts of gunk indoors. Now there's a simple solution. It's Muddy Mat, the anti-mud mat that keeps your dog's paws clean before they make a mess inside. Use Muddy Mat under your pet's food dish, in the bathroom, even catch spills in the kitchen. Call or go online to order your Muddy Mat right away. Through this introductory offer, order 2 and get 1 free for only $19.95 each.
When you have a Medicare partner you trust, life gets lighter.
HealthSpring?
You know it. Put a spring in your step. HealthSpring.
3 legendary all-American groups, 1 night of American pop. Featuring the Grassroots, the Buckinghams, and the Box Tops. Together live for American Pop. Saturday, February 7th, Legends Casino Hotel. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or Legends Gift Shop. 1 night only. Don't miss American Pop. Saturday, February 7th at Legends Casino Hotel.
Dear Winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota has 25 all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive vehicles, more than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
This season of 911 is TV's most emotionally satisfying roller coaster.
Thank you for saving her!
It's a high-speed thrill ride.
Please help! Help is on the way!
911, tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is going to continue to be very mild over the next 7 days. Now let's tell you why that's the case. You see this sort of, we'll call it an appendage that's extending down from the low pressure center off in the Gulf of Alaska. This is actually a warm front. It's not analyzed by our system, but this is a warm front that's passing. There's another warm front that's sitting a little bit deeper in the Pacific, and we will see, of course, this one's passing, but this one will pass us as well. So it's going to reinforce some warmer, milder air for this time of the year. I'll show you how that is going to translate to 7-day high temperatures in just a second. But first, I wanted to touch on temperatures for this morning. The Cascades, you see a lot of us right around that freezing threshold, 32 for White Pass, 31 for Blue Pass, 32 for Stevens Pass. That is very important when it comes to those road conditions, as there is the chance for freezing rain. We want to see these temperatures above 32, and unfortunately they are hovering right at 32 for Ellensburg. Yakima, thankfully a little bit warmer than that. We're at 34, but it looked like it was 32 for Grandview, 33 for the Tri-Cities. So you get the gist. 34 for Walla Walla. In these areas, it's kind of marginal. Will we see rain? Will we see freezing rain? It's sort of right on the margin. So if you see a wet spot out there for this morning, just assume that it's a slick spot. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about today's, here is your day planner forecast for this Thursday for the Tri-Cities. Going to end up around 50 degrees when it's all said and done. So for today, these highs will end up being above normal. Lower elevations 40s and 50s, overnight lows down into the 30s and 40s. And our high temperatures will be trending up as we head into the beginning of next week. 53 degrees for Monday. That places us at about 10 degrees warmer than normal. But still contending with that potential for some ice this morning. We'll time that out with the Futurecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Talking sports now, we're featuring a player who scored the franchise's first ever hat trick and now serves as its captain. Jake Gable has your Kraken Player Profile of the Week.
The Kraken Player Profile, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Jordan Eberle joined the Seattle Kraken as a key selection in the 2021 NHL expansion draft, immediately stepping into a leadership role as an alternate captain. He quickly made history, scoring the franchise's first hat trick in a 5-2 victory against the Buffalo Sabres. His ability to perform in crucial moments was further showcased when he scored Seattle's first Stanley Cup playoff overtime goal, securing a 3-2 win against the Colorado Avalanche in the 2023 Western Conference first round. In March 2024, Eberle celebrated a significant milestone, playing his 100th NHL game. His leadership culminated into an announcement on October 8, 2024, when Jordan was named the second captain in Seattle Kraken history, a testament to his profound contributions to the team. Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
And you can catch the Kraken take on the Vegas Knights this Saturday. That'll be at 7 p.m. on My Network TV. And keep it here, because coming up next, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door. Then Josh is back with your full First Alert weather forecast. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Depression and anxiety can feel like a heavy, suffocating weight pulling you down. But there is hope. Neurostim TMS can help you regain your life. No medications, no drug-related side effects, just a proven solution covered by insurance. Our FDA-approved, non-invasive transcranial magnetic stimulation therapy targets the source of your symptoms. Neurostim works when medications fail and is the Northwest's leader in TMS, with over 250,000 successful treatments delivered. There is hope. Call today for a free consultation.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
In our house, love comes in little bites.
Mom, you do this every time.
Quality control. Memories are made in the kitchen. Find the right appliance to make more of them at Fred's.
All GE appliances are on sale, like this GE fridge, now only $14.99. That's a savings of $1,100. Stop by your local Fred's appliance today and shop the region's largest Get It Today inventory. We sell appliances, only appliances.
Voted Tri-City's best for a reason. This Valentine's Day, the Flower Bar has it all. Stunning roses, lilies, hand-tied bouquets, and gorgeous flower boxes. Plus, indulge with chocolates, macaroons, and bath products. Pre-order now at theflowerbarontheparkway.com or stop by for same-day pickup. Open until everything's gone.
Home isn't just walls and a roof, it's where hope begins. With Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity, you can build that home together with people who care. Our path to ownership is affordable and supportive, with education and partnership at every step. Wondering if you qualify? Fill out our online application. We are building in Benton and Franklin counties and in Walla Walla. Apply online today. Let's build the place you'll call home.
Stacy Lee. First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We could have some icy roads out there once again for this morning. Now, our algorithm continues to state that for lower elevations, it looks like it's mostly just rainfall, but we're seeing a lot of temperatures out there. We're seeing 33s, 32s, 34s. Pretty much all of us, except for maybe some of the foothills of Morrow County, but pretty much all of us right on the cusp of that freezing threshold. So if you see a wet spot on your morning commute, just make the very safe assumption that it is an icy spot. Okay, let's put the next 48 hours into motion with Futurecast radar. 8 a.m. Still mostly dealing with light precip out there. Now, by lunchtime, I think our roadways will be much improved for lower elevations, getting a little bit of an afternoon lull, but then into this evening, Here comes another round of some precip, and it looks as if temperatures are going to be just warm enough to curb that freezing rain potential for tomorrow morning for lower elevations. But the valleys, especially the Kittitas Valley, going to be pretty close to that threshold once again. We'll keep a very close eye on that. And then throughout Friday, we'll have more light precip just working through the region. And then, hey, how about just like one more round as we head into Saturday morning? But once again, this round should be mostly rainfall for lower elevations. All right, here's some of the ice totals we're expecting through the rest of this morning. And again, it on face value it doesn't look all that impressive. 0.01, 0.01, 0.01, but this is just enough to put down that little glaze on the roadways, and especially for bridges and overpasses that have the tendency to ice over first. Okay, so the best chances for freezing rain today for lower elevations going to end up being in the valleys, especially before 8 a.m. So that's Ellensburg, and then for Yakima, kind of the same thing before 8 a.m. But if we showed this to you for the Tri-Cities or for Walla Walla, for Hermiston, it would, in all likelihood, look just about the same. Chances for freezing rain before 8 a.m. Okay, precip chances really after today, not all that impressive as, well, you know, we need much more rain than this, but especially we need much more snow up in the mountains. We'll have a lot more to say about that for tomorrow. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Perhaps a little slick out there this morning, but afternoon highs will be pleasant once again. In Yakima, we'll also see the same thing, patchy areas of ice possible this morning. For Ellensburg, the same thing for the Kittitas Valley as well, but it looks as if Friday morning's commute should be safer. We'll keep a close eye on all the components of that aspect of the forecast. And then for Hermiston, maybe a little icy for Thursday morning. Looks as if that threat will be curbed for tomorrow morning. And finally for Walla Walla, for now, we're seeing a little too warm for ice this morning, but the temperature is at 34 degrees. It only needs to cool off by a couple more degrees to put us in that range. So just take it slow on your morning commute. But overall, tracking chances for rain today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is 5:51. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour, and we start with the top 5 local stories that you need to know. First up, the Kennewick School Board held a meeting last night on the proposed sex offender home, which is set to open in a residential neighborhood. This comes after the town hall on Monday, which left residents with more questions. Neighbors say their next steps include doing more research, continuing to raise money for legal help, and they also say they're interested in taking their fight to the state. Local legislators say they're working on bills to try to prevent the house from opening, which will be presented during the legislative session over the next month. And the city of Walla Walla is continuing work on its comprehensive plan for growth, housing, and development in the years to come. The process began in late 2024 with completion targeted for the fall of this year, and that's just ahead of the December deadline. The plan is updated about every 10 years, and it covers several topics, but housing and land use are among the biggest focuses this time. New statewide mandates require cities to plan for housing affordability at a wide range of income levels, and the city has been given specific housing targets by the state and the county. Leaders say public input and continued planning work will help shape the final document before it's adopted. And 2 separate but connected issues were on display at last night's Port of Benton Commissioner meeting. Public comment got tense as complaints were discussed against Commissioner Scott Keller and the paid administrative leave of former Executive Director Diane Howard. According to an investigation, Keller violated state law related to leasing practices and also water and sewer hookups at the Richland Airport. Howard remains on paid leave after commissioners voted no action on the findings that she brought forward, and the community is calling for the state auditor to step in, saying this goes beyond one person and speaks to public accountability. And Columbia Basin College and the Phi Theta Kappa National Honor Society are hosting their Shine the Light event, and this is to help spread awareness about human trafficking. This 3-day event continues today, and it aims to educate people on what trafficking really looks like in our region. And that's also while connecting survivors and families with resources. It features a Q&A panel with Sark and Mirror Ministries, as well as interactive exhibits, and it's located inside CBC's atrium. And Pasco residents made a splash as the city celebrated the grand opening of its Memorial Pool Dome, and this is the first public indoor pool in Pasco history. This will allow residents to enjoy open swim, high school swim meets, and swim lessons throughout the winter, and the dome will stay open through April. Open and lane swim is available on weekends from 1 to 4 p.m., and tickets for youth and seniors are $3, and for adults, they're $5. Turning now to your national headlines, the Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady, which could hopefully boost the dollar some more. The Fed announced the decision after a meeting yesterday of its open market committee, and this comes as President Trump has been pressuring the central bank to cut rates. Now to your business news, UPS says it's cutting up to 30,000 jobs. The company says it expects to deliver fewer Amazon packages this year, and UPS says it will reduce staff and offer voluntary separation for full-time drivers. The cuts also will affect warehouse workers, and the new cuts follow tens of thousands last year. UPS has said it wants to reduce its work with Amazon, saying the partnership is largely unprofitable. In your health headlines, having a dog around could help teens who are facing mental health challenges. Researchers studied nearly 350 teenagers in Tokyo, and they found that teens with a dog in the home showed fewer social problems and a higher well-being. Teens with dogs also scored lower in withdrawal, aggression, and delinquent behavior. And scientists point to social interaction and even possible microbiome changes. And talking sports, former Masters champion golfer Patrick Reed announced yesterday he's leaving live golf. He says he wants to return to the PGA Tour when he becomes eligible in August. That'll mark a year since his last live event. He first joined the Live Golf League in 2022, and since he resigned from the PGA before doing so, he only has to wait a year. And the move comes as former live golfer Brooks Koepka makes his return to the PGA. Trending now this morning, caught on camera in southeast Michigan, state police found a runaway miniature donkey on the lamb in the snow. What? Oh, how cute.
Donkey named Dolly escaped from her pasture Tuesday night through an open gate. Officers spotted her about a mile from home, strolling down a street in Holly Township.
Her owners came and picked her up, and state police say this isn't the first time that troopers in northern Oakland County rescued missing animals.
They also found a dog named Potato. I want to hear more about Potato, and corralled cows along I-75.
These animals, they're all just running away, and I guess he just wanted to take a stroll, or she, Dolly, a donkey named Dolly.
The donkey named Dolly,
named Dolly.
I think maybe the cold weather has something to do with it. They just wanted to stretch the legs a little bit, get some of that thermal energy going.
They're just enjoying it, loving it.
Yeah.
I'm not really loving.
No.
Well, we're getting warmer, and you'll have more on that in our 6 o'clock hour.
Yes,
so
I will.
I'm excited for that. 50s, I hear.
50s, woo! Celebrate,
All
pop
right.
the champagne.
I'm going to do that. All right, keep it here because coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we're talking about a 3-day event that's raising awareness on human trafficking, and we're going to hear directly from an undercover operative who's been helping save lives for the last 12 years. Details in our 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, you just told us a little bit about those 50 degrees that could be coming, but what else are you tracking?
Yeah, so that on the flip side of that, the mornings, specifically this morning, hovering right around freezing. We have some moisture in the area. What does that mean? Freezing rain possibly. So I'll tell you what our roadways look like coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.